Hey, I'm Jess Hugo, personal trainer and nutritionist, and I am here to show you that life is messy, but we're doing it anyway. Welcome to Doing It Anyway, the podcast for building the life that you want without burning out. Let's get into it. Denisa Feng, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much, Jess, for having me.
I am so excited to have you here. I did give a little bit of the behind the scenes into a sneak peek of what to expect with the guest questions as the episodes haven't come out. So give me a word to describe your current season of life. No context behind it, just like off the cuff, this is what I'm feeling.
This is what I'm feeling. The current word would be balance. And that's not describing what I am at the moment. I don't actually feel that I have a good balance at the moment. So that is like my goal. Like there's so much going on. And business is hard. Balancing that with all your other responsibilities in life is hard. And that is the word that, I want to achieve more of that actually in my own life. Is
it something you set out at the start of the year? I'm not sure if you're like big on goal setting, but being like, this is my word of the year. I'm doing this year.
I do goals, but I know a lot of founders and people in business, they have like this one word.
Yeah.
I don't have a word. Yeah. I feel like I don't want to be constricted to just one thing.
Yeah.
Because it depends on the day and what I need and how I want to hype myself up. But definitely that part of it is more balance and more, I guess, compromising things. Because in business and in life really, there's so much going on. And I feel like sometimes I just don't have, it's chaotic, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And I really want to be that person moving forward now that I have a bit more experience that can balance things more.
I think as well as like a female, and I don't know about your experience with this, but I'll like wake up one day, feel 10 out of 10. The next day I want to burn everything to the ground. And then I'm like, okay, so my words kind of change.
Yeah, exactly.
So it is really hard to stick to a word.
Yes.
But for the listeners that don't know you, give us a little bit of a background. For context, you've gone from a degree to running a brick and mortar in Rouse Hill. So give us the rundown.
Yeah. Well, I'll do the professional rundown. I'm Denisa Feng, the founder of Hugh Hyde, and we're a leather monogramming boutique store in the Sydney Hills. And what we do is we offer meaningful gifting. So it's not always about the product with us. And how we do that is we are one of the fastest that do it. We do same day pickup. And our retail store is in the culturally diverse suburb of Rouse Hill. So in the Sydney Hills, not far from here. And we really just hone in on the community and the personal side of gifting rather than focusing on, the actual thing that you're giving the person.
What I love about your store is every time you walk past, you can see like in the corner of the glass window, like the press. And I'm like obsessed. It's so cute. Okay. So you started back doing a oh my gosh. Pronounce it for me, girl.
The pharmacology.
Yes. Is it? Yeah.
Pharmacology.
Degree.
Yeah. Thank you for knowing that.
Yes. Even though I butchered it, it's staying in.
No, that's, I mumbled. Yeah. All good.
Yeah, but then you were teaching science for high school?
For high school, yeah. So that's my path I started with.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't start with pharmacology.
Okay.
When I was younger, I always wanted to be a teacher. And it's funny how you mentioned the stamping machine.
Yeah.
Because that's what I used to do. I used to pretend that when I was 4 or 5, I always wanted to be a teacher.
Yeah.
And I created like these little merits and stamped them myself. So I'm like, fast forward 20-something years, I'm stamping things every day.
Yeah.
But I actually achieved, in terms of like in school, far more than I needed to do teaching.
Yeah.
So I got 13 points higher, whatever it was. And I'm like, wow, like I actually have so many more opportunities. So I did exercise physiology.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
that is so funny because our first conversation, you're like, I'm not into fitness at all.
Yeah. And I know that you've got that health, fitness background. And I started with that. Wasn't for me.
Yeah.
Everyone around me were like fitness, like getting up at 5, they swam, they ran. And I'm like, this isn't for me. Like, I think I just, kind of wanted to explore opportunities.
Yeah.
And then from there, I went into pharmacology or my Bachelor of Science.
Yeah. And what was the decision to swap across? Like, where did you kind of have that interest in science and all of the things?
Yeah. Oh, I've always loved science.
Yeah.
I've always been very inquisitive and wanted to know why things happen and when they happen. I really was just that science girl in year 7, 8 that just loved that subject.
Yeah, so it started like in high school, or anyone in your family's in it, or you just like were like, okay, I'm in year 7 science and I'm loving this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I love that.
I know. Now it's just like I don't do anything in science at the moment, but it does ground me in some aspects of my life.
Mm-hmm. And I definitely want to get into the piece of like how it shows up in your day-to-day in business.
Yeah.
But through your degree, getting into teaching, what was the switch where like you were like, I don't want to do teaching anymore. I kind of want to step into getting into markets, and then obviously starting the brick and mortar. So you started with markets first. But what was that like decision? What happened there where you were like, I don't want to do this anymore?
It wasn't actually that for me.
Okay.
It wasn't a wake-up moment where I don't like teaching anymore. It wasn't anything like that. In fact, a lot of people in my life would say, oh, you must have hated it. You must have hated teaching, and that's why you're out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, that wasn't the case. And one of the biggest challenges actually was choosing whether I stayed in a really safe, permanent role of teaching where I felt I was good at it. I loved my working environment. I had really good mentors in my teaching workplace. So it was a safe zone, right? And then I had this opportunity come about. Elise Saw from Rouse Hill Town Centre, who is actually a really important figure like that I think about. She approached us, our pop-up store in Rouse Hill, and said, we have this opportunity for you. Would you like to have a brick and mortar? Would you like to have a retail store? And at this point, like I was loving my teaching and also this side hustle that I had created.
Yeah.
That
so
I was
doing. It just a passion project at the time?
Yes.
Okay.
It would be, it was a passion project at the time.
Yeah.
I was stamping at mums and dads. So when you asked me, was it a moment of, did I want to leave? No, I didn't want to leave. I just was presented with an opportunity that I was in a fork in the road, and I had to choose, and that was the most challenging moments of my life.
Yeah. So give us the process, like a little bit of the behind the scenes. You don't need to share all the juicy details, but.
No, of course. So we were doing pop-up stores at Rouse Hill Town Centre for a few years.
The weekend markets.
We did markets too, markets with the tents and everything. A pop-up store is when you actually get a casual lease.
In like the middle of the centre
In the middle of the centre. So I was doing that for a few years in Rouse Hill, and we were doing really well. Like we had a solid customer base. The community really supported the brand. And throughout that process, I guess we were seen, which is, one of the most flattering moments of my life, because I wasn't looking for a store.
Yeah.
Right? We were approached for the opportunity. We were offered an opportunity.
Yeah.
And then at the time, I was like, I spoke to my husband Davey, and it's like someone just approached me about a lease. Like, this is crazy, right? Like this is crazy. I'm a teacher. I'm doing pop-up stores for fun, not really for fun, but there was a business aspect to it as well.
But also to fulfill your childhood dream of stepping.
Yeah, all day, literally. Yeah. And then from there, that was actually back in 2023. So the whole signing of the paperwork and the contracts and all that stuff was a year in the works. And so you were asking for the behind the scenes, like what would you like to know? Well,
yeah, I guess first of all, 2023, that's accelerated like so quick. Yeah. I thought it was more of like a slow burn, but the fact that you're now just recently, like I'm sure they weren't your first, but recently doing events and all the things and being so booked and busy. Yeah. Normally business is like such a slow burn when you start a small business, and it can be really, really hard. But I think for you, it's like, okay, I've just been offered a lease. Yeah. Do I leave this stable job that I'm kind of sitting in that comfort zone of being really stable and fine and go all in? Like, what if it doesn't work out? Then do what? Like, how people get in that phase of like, then I'll have to go back, and like going back is somehow the worst thing in the world when it's really not. Yeah. But, oh my God, there's so many things going on. What am I going to do? Yeah.
That was definitely my experience, 100%. While this whole process was happening with this lease or the landlord coming to offer this site, I was still teaching at the time. Yep. And then at the same time, the pop-up store was running at the same time. And then now there's this other potential opportunity that I had to balance. And that, when you're offered a lease, it's not just about like, oh my God, there's a store, I want it, I'm going to sign. Yeah. Like I had to learn very quickly all the things that needed to be done behind the scenes, the non-shiny stuff, people say the unsexy stuff of business, right? I needed to speak to a solicitor, right? I needed to speak to an accountant. First of all, with the solicitor, the legalities of this lease. Yeah. then speak to an accountant. Can we actually afford this lease? And that's a huge question. When people are going into retail, like e-commerce brands, the approach is very different to ours. How it usually works is these businesses who are well established, they sort out places after having a look at their margins, after having a look at if they can afford the site, do they have the customer base, they've tested it, they have the internal systems for it, operationally they can do it, they've got managers. That wasn't me.
Yeah.
It was just me. And it's like, do you want this store or not? So, thinking back to that moment, there was so much I had to learn. And it was a time where I was very scared and doubted, oh my goodness, can I actually do this? Is this for me?
Yeah.
I'm really glad that I made that decision to go forward.
What was the thing that kind of got you across the line? Because I know sometimes we can sit imposter syndrome for so long and we get that like analysis paralysis and we can't like just go for it and make a decision.
Yeah.
And some people like drag the chain and sit on the fence for years. And obviously you didn't have time. I guess they were kind of like, you're either in or out.
Yeah.
So
they gave me a timeline.
Was that kind of like how you made your final decision? Like, here's the timeline, I've got to go.
Oh, no. So I went into it knowing that I was inexperienced. And I don't say that to like, put myself down or anything. And the word imposter syndrome, it's such a buzzword now. I mean, actually, before we get into that, what's your definition of imposter syndrome?
For me, it's like when you're trying to do something outside of your comfort zone and do something more, and then you just feel like you're incapable, not ready for that step, all of the things. And I guess it's not even like I'm standing in a room, I don't fit in. For me, it's like I actually don't know if I'm ready to like take that next step in something. Yeah. I don't actually see it with other people around.
Yeah.
For me, personally.
I think that's the tricky part. Because again, this is such a trending word, imposter syndrome, this, imposter syndrome, that. My understanding is you feel like a fraud, right? It's like people.
But to yourself or to others?
No, as in the definition of it
is
imposter syndrome is when you feel like you're a fraud and you don't deserve to be in that environment. I didn't exactly feel that, but what I did feel was doubt because I was inexperienced.
Yep.
There is so many things in this world of coming out and going into a lease that I didn't know. But I felt that what I needed to ask myself at the time is not, do I deserve to be here? What I needed to ask myself at the time is, what do I need to learn so that I can prove myself in this space? So that really changed my mindset. Although I was scared, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, like what would a teacher like me with the background that I have know about running a retail store?
Yep.
But as long as you put myself in that mindset of, okay, what do I need to learn? What do I need to do to prove that I do deserve to be here?
Yep.
Then that kind of framed the whole imposter thing. I don't really like, it's not that I don't like the word imposter, because I know it is a very valid and very real experience. But for me, I think it's kind of confused. The word imposter is confused with just the beginnings of discomfort. And I don't feel that's imposter syndrome. That's just a very real experience of anxiety, self-doubt. And once you get over that, then that's when things start.
Yeah, I think it is a really blurry line now, trying to even describe how you feel. Because for me, I think, I don't actually care about others. It's more like how I'm feeling internally, which, it can be a comfort zone. It can be so many different things. Yeah. But I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Completely. Well, talk me through how you kind of bring science into day-to-day business practices or even just personal development yourself, because even just having this conversation, just the imposter syndrome piece, like you've obviously done the internal work and like dug deeper and stuff, and that is like business. It is self-development on steroids, if you don't know. So run me through.
About the science part?
Yes.
Or like in general?
Or just all of it, but how your science comes up like day to day in like business practices, all of the things, but also just like how you've worked on yourself in this time and stuff.
Yep. I feel like every part of my journey has been used in what I do today. Like whether it's the going to uni part, getting through that, the people that I meet, this degree that I have, I feel like it's all been beneficial for my journey. The science part, like I love like cause and effect. So that's something that science is all about. I don't want to get too much into it, but that part of things, understanding why we react to things the way that we do. So flight and fight response, what I guess humans are as hunter-gatherer beings. I don't know if that's something that you've touched on, but like we're essentially the decisions that we make is essentially for us to, one, feel comfortable and one, to survive. And understanding that from a scientific perspective kind of makes you understand you and also other people. Mm-hmm. So there's that. In teaching, what I've learned from there and how I applied that to business is scaffolding. So with teachers, they're experts at scaffolding, meaning organizing things in a much more simple way for people to understand.
Yep.
So that really helped in business, creating systems in store. And it's not a perfect thing, it's an ongoing thing, but that I think helped me. My experience of maybe dealing with difficult colleagues as a teacher, that has helped with, working with professionals in business and also customers as well. So all sorts of things, I feel like they've all contributed to business.
Mm-hmm. And you currently manage a team of how many?
We're a team of 7.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, so including me, I'm a team of 8. And we've come so far. The girls, they really make the business what it is. And I wouldn't have had this if it weren't for them behind the scenes as well, working in that store, assisting our customers, because they're the first people that customers see.
Yeah.
And I'm very grateful that they're there.
I feel like I've seen some of your stuff like on your stories before, helping behind the scene in the events, and I love the tight-knit community aspect of your team, because I've worked retail jobs before where I'm like, oh,
I have to.
And you feel that way as like the employee of like, oh, just like treat us a little bit better, you know what I mean? Or no? Have you had great experiences, I guess, just based on your face right now?
No, because I've jumped around retail too. Like when I was 16, 17, you remember, I don't know if you had this, but work experience. Mm-hmm. So there was work experience. I also worked in fast fashion chains at the time. I don't know if you remember Valley Girl.
It's still at Towers. Come on.
Oh, is it still at Towers?
Yes.
Valley Girl. Okay, so actually I worked at Temp.
Okay,
Temp, which was another, I think it was like the same company.
I swear they still have that store at Parramatta.
Oh, do they?
I think so. Maybe I'm wrong.
Anyway, so that was like my first retail job. Customers were awful. Some of them, anyway. Mm-hmm. A lot of customers were fantastic and lovely. Mm-hmm. And then I worked in a retail job, which I kept all the way until I finished uni. Mm-hmm. And that was this makeup store for young women. Mm-hmm. It was called Gloss.
Oh, yeah.
Now they're closed down. I think they're gone now. But no, we had a good team. I had an amazing manager.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah, and I think I still remember the things that she told me today. One thing that she like stick glued in my mind is there's always something to do. Mm-hmm. Like even when there's no customers in store, there is always something to do. Keep busy, do something. But no, I was very blessed for having like a good team of girls.
Yeah.
But I do understand that from stories from friends and things that retail can be a bit tough.
I just think not enough small business owners like nurture their team in a way that the team actually want to show up. You know what I mean? But I think you have a really great team, and like the girls are there supporting you, and that obviously comes from your leadership role in it. So how do you kind of step into the role of managing 7 staff, and what practices do you bring in from teaching, but what do you also just like, I'm learning this along the way and it's worked out really well for me?
Yeah. I think the main thing that I would bring from the teaching aspect, and obviously what I've learnt along the way too, is how to balance their needs. What do they need? Like these people that come into you as employees or team members, they have their own lives, they have their own goals, and it's really important to understand and respect that they also have something that they want out of this, and you want to be able to support that too. That's my philosophy anyway, as a manager, as a business owner. And at the same time, you also have to meet the goals of the business. Yeah. Meet, the things that you need to do day in, day out. And you're very lucky if those employees' goals and attitudes very much align with the businesses. Mm-hmm. So my goal, I guess, is to balance both. Yeah. Like really ask them, like, what do you, for example, just asking like, shift-wise, like this is just a very basic thing, but shifts, like they have uni to balance and they have lives and they have families. How can we work together so that you can get your shifts and then also for me have someone at the store?
Yeah.
Right? It's not just about me. As a manager or as an owner, it's actually never about you. I'm always the one, or most of the time, that will do and fit in where I'm needed.
Yeah.
And the girls you prioritize first, really. Yeah.
You seem obviously really involved in all. What kind of qualities, I'm assuming you interview and hire?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. What type of qualities do you kind of look for when people come in? Just random things that you're like, are you a personality hire or are you like an experience hire? Like what do you kind of look for?
Yes. For me though, my journey is still very much at the beginning. I hire, behind the scenes of the head office of the business. I mean, now it's a little bit different because the girls do help me out in that aspect too.
Yeah.
But I've hired for retail.
Yeah.
For retail staff. And I took that very seriously. Like I didn't just think, I don't know how other managers would think in retail, but I didn't just think like, oh, I need someone to work from, Thursday to Friday, Saturday, Sunday. My goal was to the personality hire, which is very hard to.
It's hard to gauge in an interview.
Yeah, because and my interview process, even just for a retail role, was so long.
Yeah,
right, and it took so much energy, and even sometimes I thought like, would actually someone go through this entire process?
Okay, wait, you need to tell us. Were you doing like multiple like interviews or for one like person?
It would start off with so we put our ads on Indeed.
Yeah.
So I don't hire friends or family. A lot of people think that, are these your friends? No, they're not friends. They're not friends. We get them on Indeed and then we start off with a phone call. Then, and obviously these processes change as I
experience, adapt, all of the things. Yeah.
The phone call was the first thing. Then after that, they would answer questions in a video style, edited video.
Yeah.
So they would submit a video application. So phone call, then they'll submit a video application. So be in front of a camera and answer questions which I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Then after that, they did a group interview. Then after that, they did a face-to-face interview. And then they had a trial shift.
Okay.
So this is like a huge investment. It wasn't just like, come on, you're going to be in the store and work.
Yeah.
We really wanted to find people who have that personality.
Yeah.
And just to go back to your original question, which was what do you actually look for? Took a while to find this, but I wanted passionate people who are passionate about something. And I discovered really early on that you cannot expect other people to be passionate about what you do more than yourself. It will never happen. I wanted to find passionate people, and it's hard to find people who are as passionate as you are with your own business. It's not going to happen. But what I wanted to find were people who were passionate about something else.
Yeah.
Right? If whatever it would be, actually one of my first questions that I'll ask them on the phone, like the very first question, or maybe not the very first. The very first is like, how old are you? And, like, how did you find this role? But then after the very first thing that I really want to know is, what are you passionate about? And some people will, it's not actually what they're passionate about. It's how they express the passion.
Yeah.
And if you know that this person is passionate about something, they will show up. Like, it's a red flag for me if someone says like, oh, I don't really know what I'm passionate about. Like that, there's no enthusiasm, right? And it may not be passionate about something that is associated with you, but if they are an inspired person, they have something that they're working towards themselves, or they have their own goals, because like passion and goals, like I feel like kind of are parallel things. Yeah. Then you know that this person is has something to contribute for you.
I think as well, obviously I know that's the initial phone call, but even getting to the video stage, most people hate the video interview and are very like against it. But as a business owner, I'm like, no, I want to see your personality somewhat with that video and see how you respond. And like, even me, I talk a lot with my hands. I want to see, and I think that's a passion thing as well. Like when you start talking like this, you know what I mean? But that also is good because it weeds out the people who probably don't care and are maybe just applying like another job application.
Absolutely.
So it helps you really like actually get the staff you want.
Yes.
But on that piece you said before, at the end of the day, no one's ever going to care about your business as much as you.
Yeah.
But you can hire people that have passion, are interested in things and bring that energy.
Yep.
I very much look for energy in people.
Yes.
Even I don't have any staff, but if I was like going to hire like an EA, like someone like in-house, like I saw them all the time, like I need your energy.
Yeah, that's the good word too. Energy, passion. And you just hope, like I think any founder would hope that whoever comes on board their team is passionate about something, and that passion aligns with your business. Not necessarily they're passionate for your business, but they're passionate about something, and that is an extra asset that they can add to your business.
Yeah. Talk us through a little bit more about like your products and things that we can get at your store, and kind of like, what you see most people come in for. It's like personalized gifts mostly.
Yes.
But run me through.
Yeah. So we are mainly an accessory store. So we offer things that people use on a desk. So notebooks are one of our best sellers. We have our new magnetic bookmarks, which are very popular.
Yes.
Travel accessories are also really high up there. So luggage tags and passport holders.
Yeah.
But as I said in the beginning, now that I am in this business, Hugh and Hyde, for a bit more time, it's becoming not so much about the product.
Yeah.
It's about focusing on how we customize things and how different we can customize things and how inclusive we can be. Like, for example, we have so many cultural symbols in store, and not just the, Christian one that you might see elsewhere, but we have like Sikh symbols, we have Hindu symbols, we have the Islamic word for Allah as a symbol.
Wow.
Chinese calligraphy.
Oh, I did not even know you had all of this. That is so cool.
And since, of course, like Rouse Hill is so culturally diverse, the Sydney Hills is Sydney in general is so culturally diverse, that's where I want the focus of our brand, is that it's inclusive, it's accessible, and that we're fast.
And even just recently I saw, obviously, with the events, you were doing custom luggage tags, or it just depended on the event. But run me through kind of what you just like, how you decide which product you're bringing to an event.
Yep.
And what's a bit of the behind the scenes process of like setting up for an event and doing it live and all of the things?
Yeah. So the recent event that we sponsored was a Her Seat event. So it's a networking community that focuses on connection. So it's a very intentional group of women. And I've done events before where they reach out and they want swag items, right? I've done it. And it's great because you're like, as a new person in business, you're like, wow, like they want my products in their bag, like take them all. Here it's, but it's all a lot of money at the end of the day, a lot of your efforts. And we didn't want something just to be thrown in a bag and then forgotten about. So when I choose these sponsorships and collaborations, it's about the meaning behind the item. Like not necessarily if they're going to use it, but, align the event and the values of that event to the actual product.
Yeah.
So in this case, with the Her Seat event, like these are women in business. They want to have valuable conversations. They journal, write notes. So then we thought, like a magnetic bookmark to use as they're taking notes at their events is something thoughtful and aligned. So it's not just about like, giving away free stuff.
Yeah. I also think when you have something personalized and like it's for you, it just makes you want to go for it more. Like I'm the type of person that I'm like, okay, if I have a personalized journal, I'm going to journal. And I've been like journaling probably the last 6 months. I'm not that consistent with it, but I'd love to know kind of what your day-to-day things that you implement are that help with organization, but also just help with that self-development side of things as well, and just helping you stay organized, grounded, calm as a founder. Because I feel like everything is always moving and our brain has like 101 things going on. So like what do you utilize?
When you said calm and grounded, I feel like, oh my God, like I wish that were me. I mean, some days, yes. I think I'm type B. I'm a type B person. I have like 50 tabs open at once.
I saw your laptop the other day. I actually am very similar. Not that chaotic. She had like 50 tabs open for context. I'm similar, but then I'm like, oh my God, list, organize.
Yes.
So you're not like that?
No, I am, but not at that type A
just in
level.
A messy way.
Yeah, like I'm a bit of I wouldn't say organized mess. I mean, when I said at the beginnings that I wanted balance and systems, that's one of my goals, because what I do naturally, and ever since I did when I was 11 years old, is I write in a diary.
Yeah.
So writing down everything that I need to do in that day and then just old school crossing it off.
I love a physical like writing. A lot of people laptop now and I'm like, I can't. I need to like, my brain needs to go on paper to like actually release it. If I'm typing away, it's not working for me.
Yeah. And actually going back to the science part, that's actually tied in with, as humans, that the motion of the hand is what actually connects to the brain. And when you're typing, you're doing this. And there is nothing that we used to do as early humans that does this. It's like we use our hands. We're like digging and things. So that hand stuff, that kinesthetic stuff is what I need. So I need to write. So going back to one of like my favorite products of Hugh and Hyde is a notebook. But yes, writing things down really helps me and grounds me ever since. Like I cannot function without having a list. And then now as I develop myself, there are ways to write lists that are a bit more organized. Because some days I'm just like mind dump.
Yes, I love a brain dump.
Put everything there. Like, but then you can put timestamps of when you want things to be done, or write all the things that you need to get done, and then with those things prioritize the top 5, right? So those are sort of the techniques. But yeah, I admire type A women who like have everything in folders and things, but I think I am still organized. Like my desk might not be the neatest, but I know where my shit is. Like when I was a teacher, actually I have this story where you'd see like some of my colleagues and even my husband, Davies, is one of these people where it's like pristine. Like this goes here, that goes there, that goes there.
Those type of people are always married to the chaotic ones.
You think so? So that's not me. Like I know where the stuff is, but it's kind of like organized mess. And then going back to that story, I knew like there was a worksheet stuck in this specific spot of my desk. And then I knew exactly where it was, where I placed it, right? And then it was gone the next day. So maybe I'm just a little bit OCD, but not. Like I'm not a clean OCD kind of thing. But I knew that worksheet was missing.
Yeah, that is so funny. I want to take it back to the little piece you said before about like the writing. This is just what has been on my mind recently with like nap plan and stuff being on laptops.
Oh, really? Is that what happened? Oh, yeah, that was in discussion like years ago.
But I saw the other day there was like a bit, this is so random, but I just want to talk about it. There was, they had like technology issues and a bunch of like, I think it was in Queensland, a bunch of kids couldn't do their nap plan. But like, what's your thoughts on everything being like on a laptop now, just from a teacher perspective? Because even they want to move like HSC to it. But with like the whole handwritten thing, right? That's how we like learn better. That's how we like actually do things. And now like assessments are on here. I know this is so random, but like, do you have any thoughts, or you're just like, eh?
Oh, the writing part? I don't know. I feel a bit detached from that world now.
Okay, she's moved on.
No, not. But I mean, if to answer that,
on the science side of things,
I would say yes. The direction of the world is, like technology, writing things down on a laptop. I do have a bit of resistance to it. Like I'm an old school writer, right? But it's just not as efficient. The education system is training young people to write things in 1 hour. It's like, where else are they going to apply that skill and pressure? They type everything when they leave. So it's like, are we really setting them up for success in the world? But that's just another story that I probably don't have good.
No, I was just curious on your thoughts on it. Okay, but so how do you, because you're obviously doing a lot between the events, the store, all of the things. How do you actually manage everything and stay productive when you're a type B girl? Or a messy girl? We don't have a word for you. You're just a messy girl.
Yeah, I'll take it. A Google Calendar is good. Of course, calendar invite. So all the things are there. I have everything in folders in a drive. Again, your diary and writing lists is really how I do things. It's not. I feel like I should be accessing all those like Notion app. I know there's that too. But I feel like learning how to use that, like the time that it would take me to learn how to use that, I would have been doing something else already. If I just had like, write things down, jot it down and get it done. So, but then no, I am open to being more skilled in that side of organization, using those tools and things.
Yeah, that's actually funny. I'm the same because I feel like it must be because we're written girls. I can't get around Notion. Everyone always tries to get me on it and I'm like, I don't know how to use this and I'm such a loser and I'm struggling.
It's good for a team. I heard that it's really good for when you have a team. But like, I like old school stuff. I don't know, maybe that's limiting me, but yeah.
Okay, well, if someone was in the current situation where they're kind of wanting to change careers, or maybe they're studying something at the moment, they're not sure if uni's for them, maybe they've done their degree and they don't want to use it, and they want to step into running their own business, or maybe just even doing something else.
Yep.
Where should they start?
Where should they start? Like, are you asking me for advice?
Yeah.
There's two places where I'd take this advice out from. My heart and my head. My heart will say that you can do whatever you want to do. You can do whatever you want to put your mind to. If you want to step away from your job and do something that you absolutely love and you're passionate about, that makes you happy, that fills your cup, then go do it. And, you know, there are people around you who will support you, which I hope for everyone, and you can do it, right? I feel like, not to say that I'm an example of it, but it can be done, right? That's my heart. My head would say, one, is your love and passion for something enough? Because in this current world we live in, and this economic climate that we are in, that may not be enough to push you through. So it depends on different circumstances. I'd have to ask the person, for example, one, do they have the capacity to step away and pursue this business and pay their rent at home, right? Asking those really nitty-gritty questions, addressing the reality is what I would do as a friend. But yes, my initial reaction would be, do it, go for it. You know, what's stopping you? You can learn. Let's get it done if it's really something that you want to do. And then my head is saying, okay, let's break it down. You know, there are so many things to consider. This is not a game. And I would actually say, stay in your job for as long as you can.
I was going to say that. A cool piece to even your story is you were doing the market stores and having the center thing, and you were still working full time.
Yeah. I stretched it out. At one point I was working full time.
Yeah.
And then I spoke to my principal, who I'm very grateful for, and she allowed me to do part time. Right? So I could have a few days off from school and then do that. So I did that for a long, I think it was about a year and a half, I think. And I truly appreciate that not everyone will have that opportunity.
Yeah. But I also think if you're passionate about something, you can work your day job and still just work little things, like work on the business at night and do things like, if it's a store, different story, because it's like a hourly thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But even for like a lot of people that want to get into online coaching or like business consulting and things like that, where you can just run it online, you can make content from your bedroom after your 9 to 5. Like there's so many different ways that you can do things. You don't necessarily need to like quit your job and go all in when you like have no clientele.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's what I mean. Like when you ask me that question, what would be my advice? It would be to just, be critical about it. Really think it through. And that was something that I really had to do.
Yeah.
Right. It wasn't an erratic decision that I made to leave my teaching career, permanent job, a salary coming in every fortnight, super safe, into something that was completely unknown. And there was a bit of delusion behind it too, Jess. Like, I didn't know everything.
Yeah.
And I didn't think you can.
Yeah.
But at least I did my due diligence and tried my best. Like I spoke to the professionals, spoke to the accountant is a huge one.
Yes.
Making sure that you're actually financially able. And he said, it's going to be hard, right? He was saying, looking at my numbers, like the margins, the percentages, he's like, damn, this is going to be hard for you. But he said, but do you really want to do it? Is this really what you want to do? And if so, you know, you've got to do it and push through.
Yeah.
And I was lucky also too that I'm blessed that I had a strong support system around me.
Yeah.
First of all, my husband, who at the time was just like, yeah, you can do this. You know, I'm here. And that was also a huge relief. And that's another thing that I love to discuss too, like relationships and how important they are when you're on this journey of growth and loving yourself and personal success. It really is a lot of it. A lot of it is accountability and the choices that you make. And then a lot of it too is the people around you
Yeah, I think you need different support systems for different things. So you're not going to go to like your mum for business advice, right? Because they don't, unless they run a business.
Oh, trust me, I do actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well for me, I'm like, she doesn't run a business. She doesn't know. Like she's just going to answer in like a heartfelt way, but I need to think in like a business way.
Yes.
And like sometimes as a human, I want to do the heartfelt thing or whatever. I'm like, but this needs to make sense for my business. And so I think having different support for different things. Like, okay, I'll go to my partner if I'm like feeling emotional about something and I want emotional support. But if I need business support, I'm going to go to like a consultant, or if whatever, like you with the numbers, I'm going to go to an accountant. And like seeing the line between I need a professional here or I just need my support system. But was your husband running a business at that time?
Yes.
Okay, so he was already doing his own thing.
Yep.
Okay, run me through.
Yeah, he's a very instrumental figure. I don't know if I should say this because I just went to a few women events for International Women's Day. And of course, women 100% can do everything that they want. And they are equal participants in this world. The only thing that I slightly cringe at is when women say, we don't need anyone. Like, we don't need anyone. I'm here on my own accord. And that could be totally true. But for my personal experience, and I know a lot of other women out there, we need people, the right people. And with Davey coming from business as well, he also has his business. I guess he became the person that I could go to for emotional support and also for business too.
Yeah.
So in that regard, I had that. I wasn't the type, and I still am not the type, to ask people who I think, like, I won't ask people, when you're starting a business and you're thinking, I want to do a market store, like you're just doing it in your bedroom, which is me. And you're like, I want to do a market store. I didn't go to, the girlfriends and I said, should I do a market store? Like, I wouldn't ask them that. I just kind of think about it myself and speak to the people who I truly value, like their opinions. And that is my parents and my husband, and that was it. Like, I didn't really need that, like, oh, what do you think? And, oh, do you think it'll work? Like, yes, of course these people care about you and they're able to give you some advice, but at the end of the day, this is you. Like, you've got to make that choice.
I don't even think on that same pill that you would get the best advice from them. They would just say, yeah, do it. Like, because again, strategically, they don't know the numbers, they don't know like what makes sense. But having a partner in business, like he actually knows what makes sense and will like lead you in the direction of like, he's probably already made so many mistakes and learned so many things, and it's almost like stopping you from making those mistakes because like, I already messed up here is how we're going to move forward. So is he like involved in your business, or it's just fully separate type thing? Yeah,
we actually started Hugh and Hyde together. So he was like the partner at the time, and we are both teachers.
Really? Yeah. I didn't know that.
So we're both teachers. And we were doing it at the start, but he kind of focused on his own thing and his own business. And then it's just me.
Right. Wait, did you meet at the same, like at school teaching?
Yeah. So we met at UNSW.
Oh, so you met in your degree.
We met in
I didn't know if you like met in the staff room. We're like, staff room love.
We were, that is very common though.
Yeah, I know.
Right, yeah. But no, not in our case. We were still very young and we met at uni and had fun, like in the uni space. But to answer your question, is he in the business? Formally, no. Like on paperwork, but he is. Like he's
can't not be.
Yeah, he's there, and he's my like go-to for like, what should I do here? And I'm grateful that he's the person that can give me that advice. And so people are different. People find relationships and comfort different. With what we have is the I guess confronting you with the truth, right? And that can be a tough experience for some people, right? When people find friendships or relationships, boyfriends, husbands, they actually are feeling what they need. Like, is it a person that you need to, like when you have a friend or whatever friends you meet and you foster, is that because you need an emotional dump? Are they like your people to go to because you need to like rant? Or are they the people that push you? Is that the type of friendship that, like, what grounds your friendship? And for us, of course, those things like love and commitment and family ground our relationship, but also that complete accountability and responsibility is something that glues us, that we both value.
Yep. So like he holds you to a higher standard.
Yes. Yes. And I know that some people would rather be like, depending on what you need, depending on who you are, some people might prefer, you know, that it's okay. You don't have to do it. It's all right to stay where you are, right? Because people know and can feel what that person needs, right? But for me, it's not what I wanted in a marriage. It's not what I want in my friendships. And of course, depending on the friendships, but what you really want are people who push you and believe you and want the best out of you.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's a very confronting experience for some people. And it's actually why people with this type of mindset are not necessarily lonesome, but they're like lone wolves of their own lives.
Yeah.
Because sometimes even expressing this to other people, they don't understand. Like if you're going into a relationship with friends and you're the person that will say, no, you can do this and you can do that, and, you know, but they just want like sympathy, that relationship can work, but it can only go so far. Yeah. I don't know. Do you get that?
Yeah, I feel like I definitely struggle to find my type of people because I'm the person that will like push you to do something crazy.
Yeah, tell me a bit about that. Yeah.
Okay. Even the other day, I was at the hairdresser and she was 19. I did not even know she was that young. I'd never seen her before. Yes. And she was like, I don't really know what I want to do in my life and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, like you really need to build your Instagram. Like I was looking at your Instagram and she did not ask me for advice, but I'm giving it. Like I'm that type of person that I can't help myself because those are the type of conversations I like being in. But then I also can be the same. Like I walk out of it being like, oh fuck, I kind of just gave her advice that she did not ask for.
You feel guilty a little bit.
A little bit because I was like, oh, like I went on your Instagram and I was trying to figure out what to book or whatever.
Yeah.
I am breaking up the episode to talk about how 50% of you are not subscribed to the podcast. If you've been getting any kind of value, tips, tricks, implementing anything, I would love if you could follow along. It really helps me help you bring on bigger guests and just create more content around everything you're needing to build your dream life. So if you haven't already, take a second, follow along on whatever platform you're listening to, and let's get back to the podcast. So because I didn't know what to book, I went on her Instagram looking for different styles of what I was kind of looking for, and then trying to read it and see like what it actually was. What was the service? I don't know what to book. And then she didn't have anything. She kind of just was like, oh yeah, you can book in my bio or whatever. I'm like, tell me the service, show me like the behind the scenes. Like I want to know everything. And then it's actually funny because I can't help myself. I'm like yapping about it for so long, talking about all these different things. Then literally yesterday, so this was like 2 days ago, and then yesterday she posted a photo of the hair and then did the whole caption like taking my advice, and I was like, okay, I overthought for nothing. But I'm that type of person that I literally got my eyebrows done like a week ago. She's like asked me, obviously winter is a bit of a quiet season for beauty because we're not going out as much, all of the things. And I was like, you should do this, do a group thing of this. Like I can't help myself. Did she ask me? I don't know, but she got it from me anyway because I feel like this is how my brain is like wired. I want to talk business. I don't want to teach business. I don't want to like, you know, work in business, but I love talking about business and connecting with those people, and it's hard to find. So then I just rope them all in when I go to my services. I'm like, so you're waxing my eyebrows.
Here's what you can do.
I think you should do this on your Instagram.
And maybe even your brain is wrapped around business, but I feel like even your own journey of fitness and, you know, being do you do PT as well?
Yeah, so I'm a personal trainer, nutritionist, face-to-face and online.
Yep, so with that background as well, like you focus on maybe business but growth. So your conversations are about being better and growth in that way. And I listened to so many podcasts, one of them that people have different conversation styles. And some people are all about personal growth, some people about sympathy, some people are about, you know, they have different categories of conversations. And when you find that or what you like, then that's the one.
Yeah, I think as well for me, it's like I want to see like women win. And I know that when I was younger, so like this hairdresser was 19, I was like at 19 I would have like died for this advice. Because I've spent so long trying to figure out how to start my business, like what to do. I've worked for absolute assholes and like just struggled in all of that. And I'm like at 19, I like would have wanted to hear like I was going to uni and I deferred and changed my whole thing. And it's like actually okay if that's your choice to do that.
Yep.
In a world where it's all like, you need to go to uni, you need to get your whole degree, and it's like really demonized if you change your mind.
Yep.
I was like, you're 19, you have so much time.
Yep.
Because also I was like at 21 stressing about everything, which is so unnecessary. But I think it's hard to find friends in it. So what do you, other than like networking events, do you have a close group of friends that are in business, or are you like, I'm separate? These are my social friends and I'm not business version of me when I'm with them.
Yep.
And then I have a different kind of group here.
Yeah. That's actually something that I'm personally not necessarily struggling in, but something that I want to grow into, because I'm still quite new in business. So these connections of people in business, like who can say that all their friends are in business?
Mm-hmm.
Like, doesn't work that way. There's not just everyone's in business. I mean, that would be great.
Yeah.
Because then you have people immediately who are who understand you.
Yeah.
And that's why people in business, they go and invest. I remember you were telling me about this the other day, that you invest to be in these spaces.
Yeah.
Because in life, when you go to a place, not everyone's in business. You'd be lucky if you find someone in one.
Yeah.
And obviously I had my previous friends. I've got my high school friends who are very dear to me. Other connections through like Davey, and, we have our own friendship groups. And I felt myself having a bit of a filter when I'm speaking, not necessarily because they don't want to hear it out, because I do know that I have genuinely kind and caring friends, but I do feel like they just don't get it. What I want to say about something is not the way that they think. And in fact, if I go down that road of, like you said, you really want to see people grow. So naturally, because you want to see people grow, you want to say, okay, like, why don't we try this? And why don't we do that? Because you want to help this person in front of you, because that's the type of people that we are. But some people don't appreciate that.
Yeah.
Some people are very uncomfortable with it. And then personally, what I've experienced and many times is they'll say something like, oh, but you don't get it. You don't get it because you have a really good relationship with your mum, or you don't get it because you come from a really good family, or you don't get it because of this, that. And then I realize now, when those comments come about, it's actually because maybe their mind attributes your accomplishments and success to other factors, and therefore they can't comprehend what's going on with them, because they believe that things are happening to them caused by external factors, and therefore you are the same. That you're in the position where you are today because of external factors that I don't have. And that's where accountability comes into play. And that's something that I struggle with, which is why I do, in this year anyway, my goal is really building like a deep personal connection with people.
Yeah.
And obviously you can only develop a deep personal connection on grounds that you both understand and you value. And that's sometimes hard to find.
But I think also you're in the season of like being open and putting yourself out there. Like, you're sitting in the room today. Yeah. So I feel like when you're like, okay, I want to meet new people, you're opening yourself up to it, and then opportunities kind of just like fall in your lap a little bit because you're being open. Yeah. Whereas a lot of people that, like you just said, are like comparing themselves to your situation or whatever, they're closed off. Yeah. And I see this a lot just in my line of work.
Yeah.
So I'm struggling to make friends. I'm struggling to like lose the weight. I'm struggling to do the things. Like, I just can't do it.
Yep.
Well, yeah, with that attitude, you can't. You're being really closed off. You're not coming to the community events, whatever.
Yep.
So then you're just going to cap yourself completely. And I get being uncomfortable to do things, but also, there's always someone that can kind of like hold your hand a little bit. So this is what I've kind of seen with my community. Like, I host community walks every few months. Yep. I am there. I'm the common denominator. So at least I'm going to be there. Yep. And then the other girls are completely new and unfamiliar, but you never know who is going to be there.
Yep.
But that's us at networking events.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, we don't know who's in the room, but you could walk out with like such a close friendship. They could live so close to you. You could actually meet up like so often, but you wouldn't actually know.
Yeah. No, that's right. And even when you said the comment about comparing yourself, do you, I'm just genuinely curious, do you think that comparing yourself is a negative experience or a positive one?
I think it depends. I have people that I look up to in business, and I'm like, I want to be them. Not want to be them, it's different, but I'm like, I'm obsessed with this. And when they're sharing something, I'm like, that's such a cool achievement. And it almost like opens my mind to like, there's more to achieve. You can achieve so much more. I find that I'm not very jealous. I never see people like doing better and like think, oh my gosh.
You think that you want to become them.
Yeah, like I'm like, that is such a cool next step. Who knew that I could be at that level? You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I think for me, that's how I feel on it.
Yep.
Are you the same?
I feel like I am, yes.
Yeah.
And that is the most empowering thing. I was going to say, I can die tomorrow and believe that comparing yourself is not the issue. There's a focus that, like you'll see on TikTok, Instagram, don't compare yourself because it's toxic, and you shouldn't compare yourself to other people because it brings you down. The actual practice of comparing yourself is not the toxic thing. The toxic thing is how you train your mind and approach that comparison. One, you can choose to say, you compare yourself, and then you think the other effect of that is you think, oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, look at them and how much they have achieved, and I can't do it because I'm so much lesser. Or that jealousy thing, or feeling inadequate.
Yeah.
Or you can compare yourself in a way that inspires you.
Yeah.
And it inspires you, pushes you, and makes you feel grateful for what you have. So it's not the comparison that's toxic. It's the after effect of it. Right? I feel like there's a bit of like a misunderstanding there, because it's like, don't compare yourself. No. It's not the comparing yourself. It's how you think of the comparison.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that from how I was raised, my mum was very much like, don't feel sad. There are other people out there who are experiencing so much worse. And for some people, that can be an invalidation of your experience. And not that my mum invalidated me. I feel like actually I had a very good childhood, but my mum and dad. But it's actually the taking yourself out of the situation, right, and being grateful for what you have. I feel like that frames the way that you think about comparing yourself to someone else.
I'm also very like data driven and realistic. So sometimes even if I see someone really winning, I'm like, okay, they're also like 5 years older than me. So they've had more experience to learn and stuff like that. And of course, same thing. I'm like, cool, I can achieve that.
Yes.
But it's like relax a little bit as well. Like I think, and I say again in my work, data driven, if you're seeing someone else lose X amount of weight or do this, achieve this like PB in the gym.
Yeah.
You're at a different level to them. You've got a different build. Like I'm so sick, honestly, of people just always comparing everything. It doesn't actually logically make sense.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't make sense that you're comparing to someone that is completely different to you.
Yeah.
And in a different phase of life and all of the things.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, it's like you're saying, it's just illogical.
Just use it as motivation. That's what I do. Even like logic side of things, I'm like, okay, cool. She's like 5 years older than me. I need to relax. But I'm like, that's so cool. I can achieve that. And what a cool thing to look up to, and then connect with them.
Yeah, I love that. And that's also another thing too with exposing yourself to go to these events, like with other people who are going in a room together. That those people in that room, like networking events, that people in that room, that's how they value comparison. Because if those people in the room are thinking that, oh my God, this person's better than me, they are not going to show up.
Yeah.
Right? They're going to stay at home because they know that if I compare myself, I feel like shit.
Yeah.
But when people show up in these spaces, that these people look up to others who want to be like other people, who want to know, what are you doing to get there? I want to be like that too.
Yeah.
And that's why those spaces are so beautiful.
I am big for investing in spaces and like putting yourself in the room. Otherwise, you're just capping your potential.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the direction the conversation's
going. I know. How are we going with time?
No, we're like wrapping up.
Yeah, wrapping up. Okay.
Do you have any other pieces you wanted to add in from that conversation?
No, I can go on about it, like on and on and on.
I feel like that was perfect.
We covered a lot of things, and I got to know a lot about you too.
Yes.
Which is at the beginning I was a bit nervous, but as that conversation just kind of came out, and so you're just speaking to a friend or speaking to someone who understands.
Yes. Well, tell the listeners where they can find you.
Yep. You can find us on Instagram at Hugh and Hyde, at Rouse Hill. Come pop in store. I'd love to meet you. And I also have LinkedIn. I need to grow that space, but you can also find me there.
Yep, and I'll put your personal brand Instagram. It'll all be below, but I'll put your personal brand Instagram as well, like down below. Perfect. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much, Jess.
So good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No worries.
And that is a wrap on another episode of Doing It Anyway. If you enjoyed today's episode, I would love for you to rate it 5 stars, share it with your friends, share it on your stories. And if you have any feedback, I would love to hear it. Please shoot me a DM on Instagram. All my links are below. See you in the next episode.